So, der nächste Programmpunkt, der drückt nämlich schon so ein bisschen, deswegen habe ich eben auch leider beschleunigen müssen, sonst wird das heute nichts mehr.
Fangen wir mal an. Als nächstes haben wir auf der Bühne einen der Entwickler neuer OS-Betriebssysteme von Hyperion. Und wir freuen uns dieses Mal, und das ist wirklich wichtig, besonders über Fragen aus dem Publikum. Nach einer kurzen Präsentation von ihm werden wir ein QnA machen.
Next on stage, the developers of the new Amiga OS software Hyperion. We would like to collect questions from the audience. Please feel free to ask.
Welcome on stage, Timothy.
Take this one.
Make a short introduction about yourself and then we make a Q&A. Thanks.
Hi. Sorry about the voice. Party events and shows are always bad for the voice and for the health. Anyway, my name is Timothy de Grote. I am a C64 user in here. I made the transition to the Amiga with the A1200. And since then I have always been a big fan. I got involved with Hyperion because they created the first game called Heretic 2. It was the attempt to make next generation games for the Amiga platform. And Ben Hermans and his partner were Belgians, so I said, hi, I'm a Belgian too, so I want to help. So I did the beta testing and so on and so on. And I got involved a bit further than I thought, like most of us do. So if there are any questions, feel free to ask. I will respond in English.
Fragen an Hyperion? Hyperion? Ah, wunderbar.
So, what are the results of the talks with Granto?
Bad things first, sorry.
No problem. We are still talking, and as you might have noticed, some schedules have been postponed to give talking a chance. I also see the Neuss event as a turning point, and I hope I'm not wrong in that. We are open to talk, but we do not want to give up what we fought for 10 years ago, which is the exclusive license to Amiga OS. So if somebody wants to talk to us about it, I know some people want it open sourced and so on, we are always willing to talk, but not if you have a gun to your head. That's not going to help. So, but I'm a very positive person and I see a lot of positive people, and I hope that we all can make a turning point. Thank you.
Nächste Frage. Nicht dieselbe Frage, bitte.
Could you please give us a quick overview of the state of your current projects, like LibreOffice or 4.2, these things?
Well, LibreOffice is not really my project. It's a project from Trevor, so you can always ask him. But as you have seen, it's already pretty advanced. There are bugs in it, but that's even in the real LibreOffice branch. I do not think that people do underestimate the amount of work that is needed to do that. This is not something you can do in a weekend or a month. This takes years and years and knowledge. So I'm hoping that Trevor will pick up on that question after the Q&A. What was the other thing, the kernel or OS4? OS4, okay. The plan was to do an update 2 together with the release of the Tabor, but everything got a bit delayed also because of the legal issues. But my aim is to get out Tabor ready ISO as soon as possible, and to bring out an update to bring all the platforms on the same level to the public. So there are some bugs out there that exist already since 2 years, but are fixed already since 1 year and 11 months, for example. So I want to do better in that respect, get updates out a lot sooner, so people can enjoy their systems a bit more. Okay.
Nächste Frage. Wunderbar.
Hello, I would like to ask you about the development environment, about how we can bring more people to develop for Amiga OS 4 and Amiga OS 3. If you have a new SDK for Amiga OS 4, working on that. Thank you.
Okay, this is going to be an interesting answer. I never experienced myself people from MorphOS or Aeros or whatever you want as enemies. I think they all share a common heritage, which is Amiga OS, and due to circumstances which were not actually anyone's fault, but just mismanagement and crooks. But I'm not seeing any crooks here today, to be honest, to be precise. I'm not sure if it's going to happen today, but you have a developer, for example, who is good at graphics, who works on MorphOS team. You have developers at OS 4 that are good at other stuff. You have developers at Aeros. I just met a guy who did Objective-C. He runs it on all the platforms. So I think it would be best if all of us, should be allowed to do our own thing, but also not attack somebody else if he does it on another platform. That doesn't serve any purpose. And maybe, who knows, in 10 years we can all, who knows, we will see.
Gerne die nächste Frage. Nächste Frage, next question. Er lächelt immer noch, also ihr könnt ihm noch böse Fragen stellen. Bestimmt.
I understand German. I am Flemish, so as it's a dialect of Flemish. no, I can understand
Alles gut.
a lot of things.
Das war auch nicht böse gemeint. Noch jemand? Another one? Oh, wunderbar. Anger Management.
Ich werde nett sein. Can you give me an idea what kind of user numbers you have selling OS 4 compared to OS 3?
Well, that's an interesting question because on OS 4 you have the classic release of the final edition, which sold a lot, and I mean a lot. So can you count those WinUAE users or FSUAE users to the community? I think so, yes. I hope so, because they got to. That's the good thing about Amiga OS 4 Final Edition. It was cheap enough for people to try it. So I'm guessing. How many people were in Neuss? 700? 20 times that, at least. Not. I think the market itself is at least 20 to 25,000, at least. I think it can only grow if we all work together or allow others to do their own thing. But there is a market there, that I'm very sure of.
Kommt die nächste Frage, next question.
Hi, I'm Andre. I have a question. Do you think it would be possible to incorporate some modern, fully fledged browser up to modern standards that we could use it today with our web environments like Netflix, Office 365, Google Docs? Would that be doable? What do you think?
Yes and no. My personal opinion is we have developers on all the platforms. I think that one developer cannot do this. For example, I have seen people from MorphOS looking at LibreOffice because it's a nice thing. So I think there are maybe Aeros developers as well. You need really skilled people for that, and you need to attract skilled people that are not Amiga people at the moment. In order to do that, it will take some time and money. But I do think it's possible because what we have right now is already could be a step in the right direction. So I think it's possible, but not today. Maybe in 2 years when Neuss happens again, we might have better news in that respect. But I know it's needed. But also the base itself, the kernel, the environment, the API, the graphic system, it all needs to be updated. And you don't do that without sales. So we need products to sell. I mean, okay, FSUAE is nice, but you read real Amigas. Is it a Vampire or a Morpheus machine or a PC with Aeros, or preferably for me, an Amiga OS4 machine, of course. The more the merrier.
Okay, one more question. Let's say you could dream, and my dream is maybe you get the chance, the problems with the license and everything is done, and would Hyperion start again to support Amiga OS 3 because Vampire and all this stuff, that they start to continue or doing more modern stuff back from Amiga OS 4 to Amiga OS 3?
Yes. I mean, I am a fanboy, but I also look where the money is. So in my opinion, if I'm going to give a number, but it's not, if 1,000 people buy Amiga OS 3, for example, and they spend money on it, I think it's only natural, or it should be natural, that the money is spent again on improving Amiga OS 3. The next version of, we are working, of course, on updated versions of Amiga OS 3.1.4, has already some features that are backported from Amiga OS 4. The CD file system, it's included now. You don't need a CashGDFS or a TAPI or whatever. The shell has been improved. There are other things that are already improved in OS 3. And right now we even have the situation that some things in the OS 3 shell are a little bit better than the OS 4 shell. So we need to think the other way around now. It has been fun, Amiga OS 3, but it also made me aware that OS 4 also has a lot of nice things going for it, like installing it, already having some programs default that you can install. That's things I want for Amiga OS 3. So if we can help Vampire or the A1200 motherboard or other people who build motherboards or emulator people, why not? As long as it sells, I want to support it, because that means that people want it. If they don't want it, they won't buy it. Then you should know, okay, we have to do something else.
Eine Frage noch? Ja.
Recently, Hyperion bought the class action. What are the plans about that? It is going to be included in Amiga OS 3.1? 0.4?
Yeah, I'm going to. There were basically two reasons for that. One, back in the day, in 2000, Hyperion did a lot of dual licensing because Hagen Partner also was around, and we couldn't just take everything. Now we're 15 years later, and we decided that the Amiga OS should have as much things owned by the company that creates Amiga OS, not to create any diversions and branches and all that. There has been work on integrating reaction classes into Amiga OS 3, but it should still be possible to run Amiga OS 3 on a modest machine. So it will kind of be optional in some sense, that you might have prefs which use reaction, but also use the old GAD tool system, which also has been a bit updated. But programs that now require 3.5 or 3.9 classes, like NetServe, I think, should start to run on newer versions of Amiga OS 3.2 as well. So we want to make it possible for developers that use reaction to compile for OS 4 and OS 3 without having too much problems.
Next one. I never heard so much 0.3.2. That's horrible. Can't you just call it 5.0 or something like this, and do all together in one team instead of two?
You mean Amiga OS 4 and 3?
You make an Amiga OS 5 with both companies in one product.
Well, for that for that we would have to talk a little bit more.
Yeah, I know that it's hard to talk with a Belgian company. I know.
Why?
Yeah, tough salesman for at least 1,500 years.
1,500 years?
No, 1,500 years.
Yeah, that's the same. Anyway.
Noch jemand? Otherwise, we will throw you off the stage and
Thank you.
hear the other side of the continent.
I will be listening.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Where is he?
Him or it?
Him.
At least you call it him. It's okay.
I think we were a lot closer.
Yeah,
than
you have some time. You might stay on stage otherwise if he's not there.
I will do.
I always had the thought of a brawler with two guys on the. You may choose the weapons.
The mic.
You mean the word is stronger than the fist?
No, Mike and I have been talking the last couple of months already.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, I mean on a normal level, not fighting. We also have private lives, so we,
really?
Yeah, we do. Not that much, but we do.
You may ask for a coffin from Vampire.
Maybe.
No.
I do like the backdrop, so I asked for the backdrop of the DeLorean.
But you had a shorter way to here.
What?
You only drive 400 kilometers or 200, and he drove 1,600 or flew at least.
Flew, eh?
Yeah. I hope you didn't flew. Otherwise, Greta won't be very lucky.
Ah.
There he is.
Yeah. Mike.
He's asking for help. Do you hear, Mike?
So it's his turn now, right? So it's his turn now, right? He's here.
Okay.
Hey.
So we say a big thank you to be on stage,
welcome.
to get all the punches.
Part of the job.
Ja. Dankeschön.
Oh, sorry.
Ja, ich nehme das.